the kind of silence that only a gentle night. Rain could bring soft pattering against the old wooden windows of a quiet little cottage hidden deep within the whispering forest. The world outside had slowed, almost frozen in its stillness, as if time itself had curled up under a warm blanket. Inside the cottage, a small fire crackled in the hearth, casting golden flickers onto the wooden walls. The scent of lavender hung faintly in the air, mingling with the earthy freshness of the rain. It was the kind of evening made for unwinding, not remembering, just breathing. A woman named Alara sat curled on a deep, worn chair by the window. She wasn't waiting for anyone, nor was she thinking about anything in particular. She was simply being, listening to the rhythm of the rain, watching how the trees swayed gently with the breeze, and letting the night hold her. Her thoughts, like fragile feathers, drifted softly across her mind. "I wonder if trees dream," she whispered to no one. "And if rain feels lonely before it touches the ground." The room didn't answer. It didn't need to, because this wasn't a night for answers. It was a night for softness, for letting go. Outside, the forest breathed. Each leaf drank the rain quietly, and the air around the cottage seemed to hum with an ancient peace. Somewhere far off, an owl called low and calming like a lullaby for the stars. Ilara closed her eyes and listened deeper. To her heartbeat, to the wood creaking gently under the shifting warmth, to the way the fire cracked like it was telling slow, forgotten stories. And she smiled, not a big smile, just a quiet one. The kind that appears when you realize you don't need to fix anything tonight. You don't need to be strong or perfect. You just need to be here, in the quiet, in the now. In the gentle hold of the rainy night, the rain grew a little steadier, its rhythm becoming almost musical now. Each droplet a note, each note a reminder: you are safe, you are warm, and you are allowed to rest. Ilara shifted in her chair just slightly, wrapping the soft blanket tighter around her shoulders. Its fibers were worn with time, the kind of softness that only comes from many nights like this. Nights spent alone, but not lonely. Nights spent healing, one breath at a time. She opened her eyes, just enough to catch the soft glow of the fire, and noticed the small teacup resting on the table beside her. It was half full, the steam now barely visible, chamomile with just a hint of honey. She took it in her hands, savoring the warmth it shared with her palms. Outside, the mist had begun to rise. The forest looked almost like a dream now, half hidden behind the silvery veil of fog. Trees became shadows. Shadows became thoughts. And thoughts became quiet. She took a sip, the warmth flowing down like liquid calm. It settled deep, loosening the tightness in her chest. She hadn't realized she'd been carrying all day. Not every night had been like this, of course. There had been nights when the silence felt heavy, when memories refused to sleep. But tonight was not one of those nights. Tonight was different. It was the kind of night that reminded her she didn't have to do anything more. She had already made it here, and here was enough. In the distance, thunder rolled, soft and far a wail, a giant's slow breath. Ilara smiled again. There was something sacred about storms, something that cleared the clutter of the world. Rain had a way of washing not just the earth, but the heart too. It whispered, "Let go." And if you listened closely, you could almost hear it say, "You're allowed to rest now." Ilara set her teacup down and leaned her head back against the chair. Her eyes fluttered shut, but she didn't sleep yet. Not quite. She just drifted in that warm space between waking and dreaming, where the world no longer asked anything of her. The fire crackled softly, the rain whispered gently, and everything else disappeared. The storm outside never grew angry yet, gentle, consistent, almost affectionate. It played against the windows in soft taps, as if reminding Ilara it was still there, still watching over her, still keeping the world at bay. Her breathing slowed even more now, deep, soft, rhythmic, as though she had synced her breath with the sky itself. Behind her closed eyes, soft images began to form, not dreams, not yet, just gentle thoughts of open fields, distant hills covered in morning mist, the sound of leaves brushing against each other in the wind, the kind of visions that made her chest feel lighter, the kind that asked for nothing, only offered peace somewhere in her memory. A familiar melody returned, an old lullaby her grandmother used to hum during rainy days. Ilara could almost hear it in the rain itself now, carried in the wind, woven into the rhythm of the firewood crackling beside her. It was amazing, she thought briefly, how many things the world tried to tell you, if only you slowed down enough to listen. She had finally slowed down. The blanket around her shoulders now felt like an embrace, a quiet promise. You are held. You are protected. You are okay. Her fingertips, still warm from the teacup, now rested on her lap, completely still. Her mind, once full of buzzing thoughts, had emptied like the sky after a long rain, clear, spacious, soft. And as the night deepened, Ilara no longer thought about anything at all. There were no plans, no worries, no tomorrows to prepare for. Only now, only this soft. The night cradled her gently, like the arms of the universe wrapping themselves around her weary heart. Every sound now melted into one soft lullaby, the faint whisper of the wind, the gentle tap of rain, and the warm hum of embers in the fireplace. Her thoughts had become so light they floated, not rushing, not speaking, just drifting softly, like feathers falling in slow motion. She imagined herself walking barefoot on a forest path after a light rain. The ground beneath her feet was cool and soft, padded with moss and petals. Trees stood tall on either side like ancient guardians, their leaves whispering lullabies to the wind. Somewhere in the distance, a small stream trickled over stones, its melody calming her with every step she took. There was no rush, no destination, just the path and the gentle rhythm of her own breath. She paused beneath a willow tree whose branches swayed slowly as though bowing in welcome. The world felt safe here, like time had stopped, and only calm remained above. The sky held a soft silver hue, painted with moonlight that filtered through the clouds. The stars were shy tonight, peeking through the mist. But she knew they were there, watching silently like old friends. Ilara let her shoulders relax even more. The last bit of tension slipped away like leaves carried by a stream. She felt so light. It was as though the earth itself was holding her up, keeping her steady while the sky kissed her thoughts to sleep. In this gentle space between waking and dreaming, she was everything and nothing, a soul floating peacefully between moments, and just before the last string of wakefulness slipped away, Ilara whispered softly to herself, as if sealing this feeling in her heart, "Let the night hold me now. I'm ready to rest." And with that, she drifted quietly, completely, into the most peaceful sleep she had ever known.